I threw it. Hey.
This is Kyle Ploof for NEHipHop.com, and I'm standing here outside the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts, with a dude to my right. You know him as Kung Fu Vampire.
I'm good, man. I'm in my favorite part of the country, East Coast, Northeast, New England. Love it.
Yeah. But you're a Cali guy.
Oh, yeah. There's no place like home.
Yeah.
But my family's born and raised out here, Brooklyn, New York, just different parts of Pittsburgh, and so love being out here, man.
Yeah.
You know?
So tell us about a little bit about the evolution of Kung Fu Vampire, how it came to be, and where you progressed to now.
Man, you know, I started rapping when I was really young in like 91, 92, and I was putting out cassettes and CDs with a group, and basically I always leaned towards the darker stuff. Like, I was always wanting to do dark. I always liked the evil, like orchestral beats, symphonic beats, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so that vibe just kept growing inside me and growing inside me, and then like around 2000 it just hit that this was a right fit, and that's what I started doing, you know what I mean? Right around 2000, my friends kind of just came up with the name for me and kind of named me, and it just fit everything I was doing, heavy Asian influence and vampire stuff and darkness, and it was before, obviously way before the whole craze, you know what I mean? And it was kind of a trip to see it popularize and all that. I'm glad it didn't get stupid popular like zombies, but anyways.
So, like, I've heard you say in interviews before that you have a heavy Asian culture, like, influence. What's your obsession?
Well, living in California, you know, it's like the food we eat, my doctor, my dentist, everybody was from either China or Japan. And so, you know, it's around me everywhere. And like all my girlfriends were Asian. And like, I just love everything about the culture. And like the respect thing is the main thing that I saw, you know, like people would treat you nicer. Like I would always be treated nicer by these people, and I liked how they treat each other. And I mean, obviously there's great people in every culture and shitty people in every culture, but I always loved the Japanese culture. It's just the Zen, the martial arts aspect, the yoga, all that stuff is just so cool to me, you know what I mean? So it's just something I love, you know. And my favorite food is like Japanese food, sushi, Vietnamese food, all that. So
So you've talked about how you, like, the darker side of music is what you came up listening to. Was it all hip-hop, or were you into, like, you're part of the 80s, right? 70s, 80s?
Almost.
90s? Like, were you into the stuff like Depeche Mode and stuff like that, or like?
Yeah, I like Depeche Mode I got into a little later, and I liked a little bit harder stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely like 9 Inch Nails when they first came out, the Pretty Hate Machine, all that, the first Nirvana stuff. My influences, like, I really liked The Doors and The Ministry, like a nice hodgepodge. Like, one of my favorite groups is Talking Heads. I always liked them because they were really ahead of their time. I was introduced to them by my aunts and Frank Zappa and, you know, all that kind of psychedelic rock stuff. I got, because my mom was young and her sisters are even younger, so I think I got some of that late 60s, 70s influence heavier, you know what I mean? When I was young, they were feeding me that stuff. They were listening to that music. Right. So, like the weird kind of, not drug-induced, but, you know, like psychedelic kind of weed stuff, you know what I mean? And I like it, and it's fun, and to me it was very musical, you know, and I that's where I come from. You know, I like Erasure and Depeche Mode for what it's worth, and but, you know, I got into that a little later after it was popular, you know, so, totally.
So do you see that shining through in your music with your influence?
Gosh, I kind of do hear it a little bit. I don't know. I even hear like a little Metallica in there sometimes, and we don't even do metal at all, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, I think like the gothy kind of Susie and the Banshees, like real off-kilter stuff is just what I really think is cool, you know what I mean? So
totally. You're on tour with ICP right now. How's the tour been going? How have the Juggalos been treating you?
Man, I love them. They love me. It's how I live. I mean, like, this is how I look at it. Anybody who says, like, you know, oh, Juggalo this, Juggalo that, or those people are like this, those people are like that, or, you know, it's those, the only people who say that are people who haven't been to the shows and kicked it and hung out with them on a long-term basis. Yeah, exactly. Once you hang out with them, you realize they're just cool-ass people, and you almost, like, I hate to say it, but like if you really kick it with real juggalos and people and for more than just a half hour, you can't say, okay, I'm not down with them. Like, you pretty much have to be down with them if you really do that. Of course, again, like any culture, anything, there's dicks and there's cool people. Sure. But I found the nicest, coolest, open-minded people in the Juggalo family. Like, they're, like, my shit's weird. It's been weirder than it is now. When I came out and Juggalos first saw me, my shit was weird. Drum and bass style, you know, live band, cellos. I was fully painted in a gown and shit. Right. And so it's like for them to accept me, it's like, y'all motherfuckers are tight. You like what I do? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I love them, open-minded. There's no culture. If they're open-minded, you can't hate on them. Yeah, exactly. You could say, I don't like the soda, I don't like the logo, I don't like their fucking this, that. They're open-minded, fuck you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Totally. So,
when did you first get affiliated with ICP and Psychopathic?
Man, basically, I did a small run with Isham back in 09, and different people saw what I was doing, and Juggalos started buying my CDs and started posting my video. I first came out with the iCount video in late 09, mid 09, 2009. When that came out, actually, this is how it happened, straight up. That video came out, a Juggalo sent it in by email to fagolovers.net. Everybody knows Fago Lovers. Yep. That's the homies. Shout out to them, Scotty D, Biggie, and everybody over there. Someone sent the video to them. They posted it. Monoxide from Twisted saw the video and in the office said, hey, who the fuck knows this Kung Fu Vampire dude? And someone was like, I do. I got his number. They were like, call him. We want him to tour with us. That's the story they told me. Right. And so they called me at my house and said, hey, what are you doing for 2 months in, you know, February, April through April, 2010. And I was like, jokingly, I'm like, I don't know, going on tour with you? And they're like, yep. Wow. And so, you know, sold the mutual fund, got the credit card out, bought a van, bought a trailer, wrapped them both, hit the road, devastated the country, and it's been all family since. Yeah. You know? Is
that where you felt like things changed for you, with like crowds coming out to see you specifically?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. And it's a blessing, you know, and like if people who saw this interview could really grasp the appreciation, you know what I mean? It's like to do music for 20 years or 18 years and not get appreciated and not get understood because your shit's weird, right. And then to have Juggalos accept you, it's like that shit's real, you know what I mean? It's dope, and I'm appreciative, and it's cool, you know what I mean? It's like they're cool, you know?
You said you felt the love from the Juggalos and stuff like that, so how do you feel about the whole FBI thing coming out, and do you know what like the status of that case against them is?
I don't know, man. No. That's a Psychopathic Records issue, you know what I mean? And like, I just wish that didn't happen. Yeah. I think it's really silly. It's like it's the least organized anything that you could ever imagine. It's like they're not even organized in the line out front. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck you think they're organizing drug shit? It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Juggalos don't do that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. Assholes do that kind of shit. Do gang shit and steal shit and kill and rob. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you know, like, for instance, like just statistically, the Gathering. Say there's 15,000 people there, and every year half a person dies. Okay, like every other year someone dies. First of all, they're not killed. Someone drowns or overheats, or nobody dies. Nobody gets hurt. A couple people get hurt out of 15,000 people. So you mean to tell me, like, when Grateful Dead gets together and there's 15,000 people, that they have that same lack of violence? They have more violence at their shit, and they're pretty peaceful. Right. If you do that at a metal concert, Slayer, forget it. 20 people are getting fucked up. Right. Fucked up. Stabbed, punched. Shit is happening. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I walk around at the Gathering with my shirt off, no security, fucking just walking around, and people are like, what up, what up, what up? Here's a drink, what up? People are cool. So you got to respect and love open-minded people who are respectful. You know what I mean? I'm over here watching people walking by going, please someone don't walk by and say, fuck me. And then ruin everything all the good shit I just said about them.
Nothing but love. Fuck you, man. So do you have any, what's like the craziest story or something cool that really happened at the Gathering for you?
Gathering. Shit. Found out my girlfriend was pregnant at the Gathering. Yeah? Yeah. So that was a blessing because that was cool, you know. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know if it was going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not a youngster who's like didn't want to have kids. Like, I wanted to have a kid, so it was great. Another thing at the Gathering, I'm trying to think. Oh, shit. Getting on stage and dancing with MC Hammer. No shit. On stage. He was at the Gathering? He killed it. Nice. He killed it. Watching George Clinton right there front row, right there backstage, Parliament and all that. Man, just hanging out with really cool people and, you know, getting interviewed by really cool. DJ Quick interviewed me, and I mean, it's like cool shit, you know?
So, what's next for you? What are you excited about coming up in the future?
I'm looking to release a lot of music videos that'll just blow people's minds, you know what I mean? I have a new video out on YouTube right now. It's called Love Bites. and it just released about 4 weeks ago to a month ago before we came out here. And then looking to hit Canada and Australia. They've been bugging me to come out there, and I want to do it. Just got to make sure it's done right.
Right.
So Canada this spring, or excuse me, this fall. What else? Shit, man, there's all kinds of stuff. There's just so much stuff in the works, man. Collabos with some of the biggest people in the industry, but
Yeah. Can you name names?
until they're out, I don't even want to say nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be cool to work with like Rob Zombie and stuff, you know, like D Antwoord, be really cool, and you know, other people. I like to work with Childish Gambino. I don't know if people know who that is, but like a lot of traditional hip hop stuff. I like, you know,
There you go.
and just expanding. You know what I mean? And it's time to get a diesel bus and keep it moving. You know.
All right. So where do you want people to find you online?
Man, if you want to see what we do, we have a very nice website. Go to kungfuvampire.com, facebook.com/kungfuvampire, Twitter, Kung Fu Vampire. And then really the best way to check out like photos of me and stuff is on Instagram. Again, Kung Fu Vampire. And buy my shit on iTunes if you want. If you can't get the physical CD online, get it on iTunes. I love the new Love Bites album. Everything I've ever put out before Love Bites to me is, I don't love it. The new album, I stand by it. And I think you'll love it. There's something in it for everybody.
Nice. Awesome. You heard it here first, everybody. Kung Fu Vampire.
This is Kung Fu Vampire, and I'm out here in Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester, Mass. Northeast hip hop. And I just want to say, keep doing big fangs, baby. And I'm going to throw up the dub C for the Juggalos, Wicked Clowns. But, you know, we're doing it big. Love ya. Peace. I threw it. Hey,